Previously on the Lost at the Library podcast. Up to this point in the podcast, the discussion has focused on the general plot of the series, some of the key themes explored in the show, and Lostpedia as a reference resource for a Lost fan. In this final episode, we will be looking at some of the literary references that have been made explicitly or alluded to by the writers or in the show itself. Executive producers and writers Damon Lindelof and Carlton Cuse grew up reading a lot of the same authors and have acknowledged literature's influence in the way they have shaped the show. In an interview from last year, Lindelof explained that, quote, "We pick the books with a great deal of meticulous thought and specificity and talk about what the thematic implications of picking a certain book are, why we're using it in the scene, and what we want the audience to deduce from that choice." More than 70 books have been referenced during the 6 seasons, including heavy reads such as the 700-page Ulysses by James Joyce and the Odyssey by Homer. Whether it's a plotline, character, or theme, many elements seen in Lost can be traced back to a book. Alternate realities found in Alice in Wonderland and the Chronicles of Narnia, differing points of view and flashbacks as in Catch-22, or simply the title of an episode like Through the Looking Glass and There's No Place Like Home, all of which reflect the producers' and writers' fondness for great literature. There were a few titles that were referenced regularly throughout the series, though, and we will look at 3 of them: Watership Down, Lord of the Flies, and the Alice books by Lewis Carroll. First introduced on Lost in the Season 1 episode Confidence Man, Watership Down is a novel by Richard Adams and was published in 1972. It is often seen as a social commentary, done using a group of rabbits as the main characters, and chronicles their search for a new place to live after they narrowly escape the poisoning and excavation of their warren by men.
Hell of a book! It's about bunnies.
Although he didn't bring the book to the island, Sawyer was seen reading it 3 times over the years. Adams' allegorical opus is hopping with Lost overlaps, such as psychic phenomenon, fertility crises, extermination by gassing, utopian communities, and of course, bunnies. Lord of the Flies is an allegorical novel written in 1954 by William Golding. The book is about a group of schoolboys trying to recreate society after being stranded on an island, only to have a breakdown when the darker side of human nature defies attempts to establish order. Murder and mayhem ensue as the story continues and things get out of hand.
You're pretty scared, huh? Scared? You understand scared, don't you? Huh? You ain't. You're gonna be, Bruce. Folks down on the beach might have been doctors and accountants a month ago. But it's Lord of the Flies time now.
Kate. Hey. You missed the funeral.
Yeah, I was with Sawyer.
All right. A few of them came. The new people. Not her. One who killed Shannon. That would have been a bit awkward. Seemed to have had a rough time of it. Looks like they went bloody Lord of the Flies out there.
The book was an inevitable name check for Lost. Although characters were never shown reading the book, it was used as shorthand to characterize some meltdown in castaway society or moral behavior as shown in these 2 clips. Perhaps one of the most influential literary works in the Lost universe is Alice in Wonderland. Lewis Carroll's topsy-turvy fantasy world inspired the title of the Season 1 episode White Rabbit. In this episode, Jack encounters the specter of his father and chases after him, much like Alice follows the White Rabbit into Wonderland.
Jack? Jack? Are you okay?
Did you see that?
What?
Standing there in the water, there was a man. Look at me. Hey, I'm talking to you. Look at me, Jack. Where are you going? Hey, where are you going? Hey! Dad?
Why are you out here, Jack?
I think I'm going crazy.
Well, you're not going crazy.
No?
No, crazy people don't know they're going crazy. They think they're getting saner. So, why are you out here?
Chasing something. Someone.
The White Rabbit. Alice in Wonderland.
Wonderland, because who I'm chasing, he's not there.
But you see him?
Yes. But he's not there.
And if I came to you and said the same thing, then what would your explanation be as a doctor?
I'd call it an hallucination. Result of dehydration, post-traumatic stress, not getting more than 2 hours of sleep a night for the past week, all the above.
All right, then you're hallucinating. But what if you're not?
Then we're all in a lot of trouble.
I'm an ordinary man, Jack. I meat and potatoes. I live in the real world. I'm not a big believer in magic. But this place is different. It's special. The others don't want to talk about it because it scares them. But we all know it. We all feel it. Is your White Rabbit a hallucination? Probably. But what if everything that happened here happened for a reason? What if this person that you're chasing is really here?
That's impossible.
Lost was fixated on literary other worlds, but perhaps Alice spoke best for Lost. As the island was a world that defied conventional understanding and classical logic, thus challenging its characters to reconsider their perspectives on reality, themselves, and each other. While the works mentioned here are among the more prominent, they are just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to discovering all of the literary clues and references included in the entire Lost series. Of course, the best way to discover all of them is to watch the show and then read the books that are mentioned or shown. You just might be surprised at what you discover about the stories and yourself in the process.